Hi everyone! This video will be about my mom's high school years. If you thought she had a hard time in grade school, you're in for a ride. Also, please stay until the end for another giveaway this Christmas. When my mom reached her first year in high school, she was unable to be the top of her class. She was in the top 10. The reason for this is because she wanted to enjoy her high school since she didn't have much opportunity to do so during her grade school years. However, her ranking was not enough for Auntie Imba. She decided that my mom would not continue high school outside Kapul. She was considered the matriarch of the family at the time and made decisions on behalf of the family. As punishment for not being the top of her class, she was made to choose between studying in Kapul for the remaining of her high school years or be the maid and farmer of the house. My mom chose the latter. She was adamant that she won't learn enough in Kapul. For her, there was no challenge. She stopped studying until her sister agreed that she should be sent to the next town after she became very sick from fatigue and depression. Her uncle took her to Kalbayog and immediately felt better. When they went back to Kapul, my mom became sick again after a few days. Seeing that being in Kapul was affecting her mental state, her family told her that if she wanted to study outside of Kapul, she needed to be at the top of her class all throughout her high school years. The pressure was on. Her entire future and well-being were on the line. My mom didn't get sick often, but she was sick almost all the time during the second year she was held back. Honestly, I feel that my mom made herself suffer unnecessarily. She was too compliant to her family. She could have easily asked her uncle to intervene and stop Auntie from stopping her studies. He would have done it in a heartbeat. But my mom never asked anything, and he never did anything. I can only guess he was waiting for her to ask and wanted to respect her feelings. I don't think he was unaware of the situation. As for why she was so stubborn, even she is not sure. She can only guess she wanted to push herself to prove to everyone that she was worthy of being loved by her family. I can't imagine what kind of thinking she had to go through to even think that she needed to work to be loved by her family. Isn't family supposed to love each other regardless? So with such ultimatums, she studied like her life depended on it, and it did. And on top of that, she still needed to work to provide for her school needs. She did very well on her second year in high school in Allen, with her uncle always visiting her. The following summer, her uncle assigned her to watch over her older sister, Auntie Alma, who fell in love with a man he disliked. My mom followed his instructions, so he was so happy with my mom. As for the circumstances of the situation, that will be for another video. But my mom never expected that she will experience another blow of her life. One weekend, she went home to ask her uncle for money, as her sister, who was then a professor, ran out of money for their food. When my mom arrived in Kapul, her uncle called for her to go with him to attend a judges' convention at the Manila Hilton. My mom didn't want to go because she only had a few clothes to wear for such an event, and they were at UEP Katarman, so she declined. It was one decision that my mom profoundly regrets to this day, because that was the last time she saw her second idol and friend alive. Her uncle passed 3 days after from a stroke that happened during the convention. When the news reached her through a telegram, she was devastated. She kept bawling and wailing. My mom thought she would go into depression again. Never again would she go out to eat with him for breakfast and have talks about anything and everything. Never again would she be able to pull his white hair and talk while doing so. It was actually during these times that she learned what happened to him regarding his wife. He would mentor her on how to debate, so she never lost during her high school years. He was a rock she could lean on. She had always looked up to her uncle for the way he held herself as a lawyer and a judge and wanted to be like him. So it became her dream to be a lawyer. It was her uncle who promised her support. She needed to be a lawyer someday, but that dream died when he died. It was just too much for her. She kept crying when it was her turn to watch over him during the wake, which would be around 2 to 4 a.m. He was so young. He was only 62 when he died. I don't think anyone would have expected it. My mom said he appeared very healthy and worked on his garden often. Even talking about this now, I feel so emotional for her behalf. In her grief, she found her way out through the knowledge that she needed to live for her dreams to help her two younger siblings. Bear in mind, she still needed to be at the top of her class until she graduated from high school. Auntie Imba was still very strict on her despite my mom's grief, so she had to push herself to be the valedictorian of her class, which she did. After much struggle through her grief, her studies, as well as work, she graduated highest in her class. College was not easier. After a lot of torment, she later graduated as an industrial engineer. She did not end up pursuing law because of financial constraints. Initially, she was told that she needed to take up chemical engineering, but she hated it and chose industrial in her second year of college without telling anyone until she graduated. Not to say her college years were smooth riding. Auntie Imba struck again and wanted to stop her from continuing her studies due to a minor issue. My mom was warned that once she goes home, she would be told that she couldn't continue her studies. So she was prepared when she went back home, making sure she had money to go back to Manila and enroll to continue her second year in college. When her mom told her of Auntie Imba's decision to not fund her college, she said, "Okay, but I will go back to Manila and search for my future alone. If I don't come back within 10 years, consider me dead. If I'm successful, I will come back and give you honor." My grandma cried and embraced her, quite surprised by what she told her. My mom cries when she remembers the words she said to my grandma. The raw emotions she must have felt, telling her mom these words, that still follows her to this day. I can't even imagine it. And she lived up to those words, with Auntie Linda supporting her from the US while doing part-time work. She was able to finish her college. During her studies in college, she was more concentrated in civic activities for the Capulinos in Metro Manila. She encouraged them to save and even brought applications for bank accounts. Her family's jaws dropped when they found out about the change in her course because they didn't know what is industrial engineering. My mom explained to them that she is a good planner and she will be a good manager with what she learned from her course. Her family was skeptical, but she started giving money a month after graduation and continues to support her family up to now when she's needed. My mom sure showed them. So that's it for this video. I'm doing another giveaway. Please comment regarding the video, anything about the video, and the top 2 comments we like will receive 1,000 and 500 respectively. The giveaway lasts until the next video. So, any former high school classmates of my mom, please share. What was she like back then? Thank you for listening. Bye.